Hi, my name's Bob Greenyer and I'm a volunteer with the Martin Fleischmann Memorial Project. Okay, so today we are going to make our witness billets out of these rods of brass and aluminium as we discussed before. And to help us we have this little hacksaw here. And what I'm going to do is for each of those I'm going to have a fresh blade. So one will be used for the aluminium and one will be used for the brass, and then we will use the various grinding and linear polishing tools that the crowd helped us purchase to smooth those ends down. And what we will do is we will characterize it after it has been cut with the hacksaw and also after it has been ground and polished, so that we know what it looks like beforehand. And we'll keep a billet of each for characterization under the scanning electron microscope with EDS to see if the various components here, the hacksaw blade and the grinding tools, introduced any elements that might have contaminated it, so that we know what may have come there from the actual reactor itself. But if we do see the witness splodges on there, they are very, very specific structures, as you will have seen. And if they are involving transmutation or transportation or whatever, I think that will become fairly obvious. So let's do this. So I have marked off lengths that are approximately 6 centimeters a piece, and these are suitable for where I need to insert them into the reactor. Okay, there you have 5 segments for our testing, and I will now do the brass. Fresh blade on the saw. Now it's cut at somewhat of an angle, but it's actually okay because the inside of the supernova is obviously a radii, so this is actually quite useful. So there we have our 5 witness material pieces in brass. So here are the full set. I will probably use the A and the F as the just hacksawed billet, and then I will use a sanded and then a polished ones, and we will put those under the dyno light and see how the different stages show themselves in the form of the surface that can be seen under the microscope. So for sanding I have 3 grades of carborundum electrite grit paper, 50, 100 and 220. And here it is on the grit side, the 50 on the left, the 100 in the middle and the 220 on the right. So we're going to pass the samples across these first, and then I will do the final polishing using the linear polisher. 50 grit. So 100 grit. .220 grit. So the Proxon linear sander came with 3 grades of sandpaper. So I've just established that this one here is 180, and since we've already 220, this one is 240 and 400. So we'll just use these two to finish off the samples. And when I opened it up, I realized that it had 12 volts there, and it had a special connector, obviously for a controller, which I can see. So I've jerry-rigged up something here using the power supply that I purchased to drive the cooling fan for the supernova reactor, and this works nicely. Yep, that appears to be quite effective. There's plenty of heads in the pack, so that I will have a different head. It might be a different shape, but I'll have a different head for the two materials and for the two different grades of paper. So this is the 240. I've got a slightly different head here, and that's the 240 grit, and I have the aluminium. This is the 400 grade on here, and this is quite easy to use. You just slot it in like so and just rotate that 90 degrees and it's in place. Turn on the switch. Yep, I think that will work. This is the 400. This will work nicely as a witness material.